Hello students, welcome you back to the course of operating systems. So last class we saw what an operating system is, what are the major roles of an operating system, what are the objectives. So we saw that an operating system is an intermediary between the hardware and the user, and also we learned the objectives that it is managing the hardware and it is able to provide an interface between the hardware and the user. And we also saw its role or its place in a computer. So there are four components in a computer. We have the hardware at the lowest level. Next we have the operating system, and then we have the application programs, and then we have the user. So I'm sure you have revised the topic and you are aware of the diagram. You are able to visualize it. So let's move on to the other next topic. So basically, what does the operating system do? So as I told you, it again depends on the point of view for what we are using. So there are different types of operating systems. So as we will see further in the coming slides or in the coming lectures, we will understand this better. So users want convenience. We want ease of use and good performance. We don't need to care about the resource utilization. See, if I'm working, I should be happily doing my work. I should not worry what is going on, how it is working, and so on. So the operating system should do all this. And mainframe, mini computer, there are different types of computers. Whatever I'm using, there are workstations, servers, everything, it should be able to work. So if I want to work on a mini station, it should help me. If I'm going to work on a mainframe, it should help me. If I'm on a server setup, the operating system should do what I have to do. So, and even any handheld computers. So the resource is poor, battery life is there. Accordingly, the operating system should take care. So actually, the current operating systems are capable of all these features. So some computers have very little user interface. As you can see, you may know, I don't know whether you have come across this, embedded computers. Now you are controlling a thermostat. See, you are using a thermostat to control your AC. You are having a small device in hand to control your remote, TV remote. All these are having a small computer inside them. So all this is having another operating system inside it. When you say it is a computer, it is going to automatically have an operating system. So it has to support all these features, a compute operating system. Basically, let us move on a little more technically. So the operating system is going to act as a resource allocator, manage all the resources. See, every part of a computer can be treated as a resource. See, memory is a resource. The input-output devices are resources. So it should act as a resource allocator, manage all the resources, decide between conflicting requests, and efficiently utilize it. And also as a control program, because we said it has to provide an interface. So it has to control execution of programs to prevent errors and improper use of the computer. You will see all this very much in detail. So don't bother. Just understand that OS, operating system, is acting as a resource allocator and also as a control program. So basically, there is no specific definition. Everything a vendor ships when you order an operating system is a good approximation. So you can define the operating system in many ways. We can say it is a kernel. See, some people will keep on talking very technically. So they will say it is a kernel, or they will say it is a simple system program, or it's an application program. So all that is immaterial to us. We can just understand that it is a software program and it is capable of interfacing me and the hardware. So how is it doing? So we are having a computer system. We have the CPU, which is nothing but the operating system. We have memory. We have disk controllers, USB controllers. Here we are connecting the mouse, keyboard, printer and all through USB cable. And we have the graphics adapter for the monitor. So there could be more than one or more CPUs, device controllers, and everything is connected by a common bus. And the CPU, that is the operating system, should ensure that there is concurrent execution. It is continuously able to monitor, control the working of all the devices. So that is what is the role of the operating system. So how is it doing? So the CPU is having, see now the disks are nothing but your external devices, and then your memory is nothing but the hard drive what is inside the computer. So IO devices and the CPU can execute concurrently. Then each device controller is in charge of a particular device type. So that will have a local buffer memory. So now the CPU is going to take, operating system is going to enable, supposing I am sending some data to the printer, then it is available as a Word document in the memory. So the operating system has to take it from memory, give it to the external device, IO device. And supposing my mouse is giving an input, from the keyboard I am typing an input, then that has to be taken to the internal memory. Supposing I want to fetch a data, then the operating system should do the reverse process. It should take my input from the input device and take it to the memory and then retrieve for me the information. So all this is happening inside.